Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And today we have two great stories. The first story about Furious Karen, and a second story about a lady who thought she was a very big boss and got what she deserved. So let's get started. Black Friday at Walmart fun. Well, Black Friday was an interesting one. Between waiting an hour and 3 minutes to get to the cash register at some stores and the sub-zero Fahrenheit temperatures, I met one of those people of Walmart that you see in memes. She was middle-aged, 40 to 50 years old, a white lady on the chubby side, wearing a full-on onesie that may have been 2 sizes too small for her. I'm wearing a blue Under Armour hoodie with a black Columbia jacket over the top of that with the words Shock Trauma Center on the back and a small decal of the hospital I work at on the front. I'm also wearing blue track pants, so I don't really think I look like an employee other than the blue color. Anyway, slightly long story, sorry. I was browsing these sales because they have these boxes in the middle of the aisle with various deals, and I'm going through various cool tech stuff near the electronics department. Did you know they have a smart light bulb now? WTF. This lady with the onesie comes up and taps me on the shoulder, making a rather shrill ahem sound. So I stepped to the side a little bit because there were people to my left and my right. I was thinking she just wanted to check some stuff out. Nope. Onesie. Don't just move to the side. Turn around and look at me when I'm talking to you. Me. Sorry, I didn't hear you say anything. Onesie. Whatever. Where can I find the shoe rack? Me. Probably somewhere in the home section? Onesie. Probably or definitely? Me. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense for it to be there with the other storage items, right? Onesie. Well, if you don't know, go find out for me. I've been looking for hours and I can't find it. This is where I should mention that the store's only been open for 30 minutes so far. Me. Why don't you ask him? I'm trying to find my own stuff. I'm sure he can help you better than I can. Onesie. Well, I asked you, so you need to do it for me. I don't care if you don't know. You don't know. You should just go find out instead of pushing it off to someone else like you kids always seem to do these days. Work for your money, like I did. Me. I don't work here. I'm just shopping like you are. Onesie. Don't freaking lie to me, kid. I saw you putting stuff back into that box. Me. Because I was done looking at it. Onesie. Whatever the reason, you looked like you were organizing it. Me. No, just putting things back where I find them if I'm not interested in them because I'm not an a-hole. Her voice started to get louder and ear-piercingly high-pitched at this point. Onesie, don't you dare use that kind of language with me. I can make you lose your job with one simple complaint, so you better be careful what you say to me. If your next words don't have to do with finding me my shoe rack, I'm going to your manager. Me. You're right. I apologize. Wait right here and I'll see if I can find your shoe rack for you. So I walk away to go look for stuff in another section while she just stands there. I was thinking I wouldn't run into her again. Boy, was I wrong. I met her again close to 20 minutes later in the women's clothing section looking for a long dress-like shirt thing for my wife. I don't know what they're called. They're like really long shirts that go down to the knees. She likes to sleep in them. They're pretty comfy too. Onesie. Where the F is my shoe rack? You said you'd get it for me. I was standing there like an idiot for almost an hour. I feel like she needs a lesson in telling time. I didn't make eye contact, I just ignored her while trying to casually walk away because B-words be crazy. When she actually comes up to me and grabbed my shoulder, forcefully turning me around and putting her face closer to mine. Onesie, don't you effing walk away from me while I'm talking to you. Take me to your manager right this instant. Now, I'm a calm person usually, and I do my best to be nice to everyone. But I have an a-hole side to me too if you cross a line, and boy did she cross that line when she put her hand on me that forcefully. I'm not a big person, but apparently I can look threatening when I'm angry. Me. Listen here, you oversized ape. Perhaps if you didn't exchange all of your IQ points for weight, you'd understand the first time when I said I don't effing work here. Second, even if I did, you have no right to ever put your hands on or treat anyone who works in customer service the way you do. Putting your hands on me like that is assault, and I can have you charged for it. Third, instead of wasting all your time trying to find me for whatever reason, why don't you try to act like an independent human being and look for yourself? If you've been here for hours and still can't find one item and asking one person isn't enough, try asking another person, preferably one who actually works here. Now, piss off and leave me alone. With all the yelling, an actual employee as well as a cop came over to see what was going on. She interrupts before I can say anything. Onesie. I want this kid fired. I politely asked him where something was, and he goes off on me, yelling and cursing and telling me to piss off and find it myself. Me. There's literally a camera right above us. You will find that if you look at that, I was just looking at clothes when she grabs me, pointing to my shoulder and showing them the slight redness that she left, and proceeded to yell in my face. If you follow me back about 20 or 30 minutes, you'll notice that she talked to me before, where I also informed her on multiple occasions that I don't work. Onesie. He's lying. I want you to fire him right now or I'll be taking my money elsewhere. Me. Right, because without your money, Walmart is going to go out of business and we won't be able to move to large spaceships and ride big fancy floating chairs because we're all too fat to walk on our own. Wally, anyone? Onesie. You going to let your employee talk to a customer like that? At this point, the employee tried to explain that I don't work here and offers to help her find what she needs, but she's either too dense to understand it or was in too deep to make it out without embarrassing herself. So she goes all in, demanding my boss's boss. I'm just here like, can I go now? It gets much less interesting at this point. She just keeps yelling, manager comes, listen, cops escort her out. Manager apologizes, offered to give me a free drink or food, but I passed, and I went to buy a cute dress of a beaver holding a mug of coffee with the words, "damn tired" on it. Walmart and Black Friday just seem like a disaster waiting to happen. Crazy ladies go especially crazy. And our second story, noses are crunchy. I was working for Toys for Tots in the DC area, which is a program the Marine Corps runs every year to gather toys and gifts and distribute them to kids whose Christmas tree would likely disappoint Charlie Brown. Sexist or no, they seem to pick those of us who have the Marine look, in the casting sense. Tall, masculine, etc., or on the lady side, that peculiar blend of I'll kick your butt with one hand while doing my eyeliner with the other. It's as much marketing as anything else, especially in the DMV. Point being, we're a bunch of tall, very fit yucks out there in dress blues, smiling and coaxing toys out of people who could have probably saved Toys R Us with petty stock earnings. We look nothing like waitstaff. Myself, 6'1", 210 pounds, and another SNCO, 5'4", probably 135 pounds, were assigned to an event at the Smithsonian. Somehow the Corps had managed to get a display and a few donation bins put up at a black tie invitation-only shindig surrounded by the display of the Hope Diamond and a bunch of other large hunks of carbon. Personally, I don't understand the obsession with it. It's a big shiny rock. No one's wearing it. It serves no scientific purpose. It just sits there so you can look at it or something. I feel more satisfaction looking at an exceptionally big turd the night after Taco Tuesday. At least I made it myself, often with significant effort and no small amount of regret/self-loathing to provide fuel for the push. Anyway, we were smiling our pearly whites while the various movers and doers shake our hands, toys on display, posing for the cameras so their constituents/stockholders/etc. can see how kind-hearted they are. The sick thing is how many people don't even donate. They just get a photo in front of the pile of toys, sans the generosity. Pretty much par for the course. The initial wave of donations passes as the event gets down to business, drinks are passed out, and they start in with the hors d'oeuvres. We're standing there munching and trying not to get those godforsaken white gloves dirty when this lady, who's best described as a chubby mixed-race female Steve Buscemi, comes toddling up in a dress/waistcoat thing that looked like it was screaming for mercy from the Button Fairy. Fat Steve, FS. Hey you two, I'm dry here. Let's get snappy with the refill. Something like that. We didn't realize she was talking to us, so I only halfway paid attention. FS, after a second of us not replying, hey, I know you hear me. Get your butts in gear. Flirting time's over. At this point, we realized she meant us. I look over at Pocket, my fellow Marine's nickname. We'll call her P. She looks at me. We look at the lady. It took a second. Okay, finally I speak. Me. Can I help you, ma'am? FS. About damn time, I need a refill, and while you're at it, get me some of those random munchy things. They stopped bringing them out a few minutes ago. You guys really should pee. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we don't work here. We're here with the Toys for FS. I don't give a good damn what you think. Get your butt in gear, or I'll have your job. I'll not be talked at by someone like you. FS proceeds to toss her empty-ish glass at P, who gets some leftover drips on her blues, but catches it out of reflex. I can see the thunderclouds gathering, a stain that likely means she's likely looking at new blues coats, which run a few $100s. Probably a new ribbon setup. Pocket is Puerto Rican and has the temper to match, so I try to head the lady off. Me. Ma'am, we're not waitstaff, we're just... FS. I don't want to hear your excuses. Do you know who my husband is? FS proceeded to put her finger right under my nose and continue the tirade. Apparently, hubby was a Southern senator's main booster/campaign funder, so said Google, and would see to it that I'd be sleeping under newspapers and etc. After about 10 odd seconds of this, we're starting to draw stairs and some of the staff were starting to head our way. However much I wanted to put this B word in a compliance hold, I could pretty well visualize the CNN article if a male Marine laid hands on a woman in front of all these people, especially in a politically connected one. I was sort of at a loss. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to make that choice. Pocket made it for me. P. Ma'am, you need to calm down. Please take your glass and... She held out FS's glass to her as she said this. FS immediately switches her wrath from me to Pocket and slaps the glass out of Pocket's hands. I could see P's control wavering, but there wasn't anything for it. FS bored right in. The critical mistake was starting to jab Pocket with her finger, right in the chest, with each word. FS, you shut your S-word mouth. I cringed visibly at that second to last word because I knew exactly what was about to happen. And it did. It's called ude gatame in judo, basically a standing arm lock, and Pocket was a 2-tab black belt. Pocket snatched her arm up, locked her out, and slammed her face straight into the wall next to us. P didn't say a word, just that grim teeth smile that says, "I'ma F you up so hard your grandkids will be born with my handprints on their soul." It was effing awesome. And a little hot, TBH. I, being both the senior Marine and somewhat cooler of temperament, carefully pull P back. I dare say it was akin to handling a small but very dangerous animal. FS kind of slides to the floor, actually much quieter now that she's trying to aspirate a mixture of blood and gypsum. Security finally showed up to help, which resulted in them hauling FS away and taking us to separate rooms where we gave our version of things. Security recordings were reviewed, of which there were many, what with the fancy rocks everywhere, and so on. Pocket wanted to press assault charges, but oddly enough, no DC police became involved. I'm assuming politics at play there. I called the head shed to let them know what happened. They sent a van to pick us and the toys up. Funny enough, it never seemed to make it to the news. I think that, more than anything, saved Pocket's butt. Upon coming back to the main event area to load the toys and take down the display, we were given a wide berth by many of the upper crusties. I feel compelled to mention the notable exception, this one old lady who came up and asked if she could give Pocket a hug, of all things. She kind of gave her that grandma-style hug, patted her on the back, and took her hands. "You know, in my younger years, I would have stomped that whale flat." "Wonderfully done, dear." Then wandered off to rejoin the party. It was adorable. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video to the end. I'll see you in the next one.